Costa Rica is not the pill that fixes all your problems, whether it be your stress, your marriage, your kids. It's just not going to do it. And some people don't have that in perspective. They think that if all we have to do is get to the beach and my marriage will be fine because we'll be more relaxed and less stressed, and we'll have more time together. It doesn't exactly work that way. Let's jump into it. While Costa Rica can be a great place to reset, many people before they even start the journey have the wrong expectations in mind. Costa Rica is not the one pill that fixes all, whether it be you're fixing your marriage, helping your kids, or just taking away stress and anxiety. Yeah, Costa Rica is a great reset place, but honestly, if you don't have those things in perspective that you're going to have to work on some internal stuff and possibly do that before you even leave the United States, then you're going to have the wrong expectations and you're going to feel like Costa Rica failed you. And so many people think that I have problems in my marriage. If we get away and go to a place like Costa Rica, everything will be fine. No, if you still have to do that internal work, and your partner will have to do the same as well. And so it doesn't matter where you begin. If you're not willing to do that work, Costa Rica is not going to fix it for you. I say these things because subconsciously, a lot of people believe this, and I run into them all the time. They believe that if they get to Costa Rica, everything will be fine. But I watch them bring their problems right along with them. And so they're upset with Costa Rica because not only is Costa Rica not fixing the problem, but it's causing other problems because it's different. I went to the store today and I had to learn Spanish, and don't they know I'm having problems with my kids? Even the fact that they wanted to slow down, they'll stay in line like, why are there just 2 cashiers and there's 4 cash registers? Don't they know I need to get back to my husband because he's complaining about? Yes, you see where I'm going. And so these are the problems that if you don't have the right expectation before you leave, you're gonna be disappointed in Costa Rica. And no matter how beautiful the beach is, or the flowers, or even the monkeys, it's not going to change how you're feeling inside, which is going to leave you feel like you're missing the mark. So in the last video, I talked about having a clear why. And in my other videos, if you haven't seen it before, I talked about having a budget. So we're not going to talk about that today. But as far as the question that I asked and I presented in the last video is, what are you running from and what are you running to? We're still trying to figure out, what are you running from? If you're running from things that are internal, no matter where you go, there you are. And so Costa Rica will not fix those things. And you're going to actually have to have the right expectation of what can Costa Rica really do for you. For me, Costa Rica is and was a great reset place. It allowed me to get away. Yes, I had other whys that we haven't got to yet. I still would recommend it to particular people, just understanding that, hey, you're going to have to be willing to change and you're going to have to be willing to work on yourself. And of course, having your clear why of actually being here. But it was a place to actually get away from the stress and anxiety of the rat race and the constant moving fast. But I also knew that it meant that things are going to be slow when I don't want them to be slow. And so I was able to adjust. If you're having marital problems or maybe major stress and anxiety or problems with your kids that you need to see a therapist, you probably want to start that journey before you move to Costa Rica. Now, yes, there are experts and there's a lot of resources, but the problem is a lot of those are going to be in Spanish. And you're going to limit your selection of English speakers that you're going to actually need to talk to, like therapists, that will be able to help you on your journey. So you'll have a huge market in the United States because the United States is an English-speaking country. But if you move here and you don't have a strong enough Spanish background that'll allow you to actually talk out your problems and have your kids talk out, because they're going to need to know Spanish as well, then your market may be smaller than you wish. And depending on where you live in Costa Rica, it may be nil. And so what you want to do, if you're working or struggling with those problems, set up something even before you leave. See if they will be able to work with you remotely. Yes, you can maybe get some recommendations and they can refer you and you'll know exactly where to go here in Costa Rica. The next expectation that you need to break when you're thinking about leaving is their comfort zone. If you're a person that loves to live in the comfort zone, so you're here, And you need to be able to be flexible. There's times where you're going to have to move out of the comfort zone, and Costa Rica is one of those places. You're going to get here, and after the honeymoon stage goes, you're going to have to get comfortable with your new life. Like, oh, I don't understand what they're saying. Oh, what do I do? The directions? 100 meters to the left? What are you talking about? Those things it takes time to get comfortable with. And understanding that it does take time. Even though the trip was instantaneous, if you will, that you took a plane, you landed in Costa Rica, that automatically changed. Change happened. But for your insides to get normal, realize that you're not changing instantaneous. You need time to get comfortable with your new norm, because this is now your life. So not understanding people, no, you don't have to approach it with fear. You learn to say, oh, I'm comfortable. I don't understand what they're saying. I'm listening because I'm trying to learn, but I don't have to be fearful or embarrassed or feel bad because I can't speak and say everything correctly, but I'm going to try. As long as you know that you're going to leave your comfortable zone, and yeah, the things that you're going to do will start getting into your comfort zone, but you're going to always be growing, and that's always going to be moving. You're having the right expectations before you leave the United States. If you don't take the time to realize you're going to have to leave your comfort zone, you'll start actually trying to recreate the United States in Costa Rica. You'll start going off your old habits, and your habits are from the United States. So you'll do things that'll distract you, and you'll essentially be on vacation mode for an extended period of time, which means you'll be living essentially without purpose. So when that vacation mode will suddenly end, like, I don't want to do this anymore, you'll be like, what do I have? Where's my community? Where are my friends? How do I go to some place? How do I take my life to another, place? Just like, you didn't work and you didn't plant those seeds to do that. And so what happens is you're actually probably not going to end up in a good place. The other part of learning how to deal with your comfortable zone is what I talked about in my other videos. It's, when you first get here, you're not trying to find a house to buy, because that's kind of a more comfortable zone feeling. I had a house in the United States, I owned it, this is how I did it, and yeah, you don't want to do that here. What you want to do is move here and get home base. The home base allows you to get comfortable to the culture, to the new changes, to the new norm. And then you can say, okay, now that I'm comfortable, with the language, the people, I'm not scared or have anxiety or anything because I'm working on those things. Now it's like, okay, yeah, on the beach I thought would be the everything, but I'm used to it. I'm comfortable to it. It's okay. I can come every once a month, but I don't need to live on the beach. And you can start making those decisions that will really impact your budget and give you a really good way to get clarity on your why. Because your why is going to be changing. And I'll be talking about that in my next video, your why for Costa Rica. Because when it starts out and you're standing in the United States, your why for Costa Rica is going to be one thing, but when you get comfortable in your comfortable zone, you're going to be like, oh, it wasn't the way I thought it was going to be. It's not bad, but it's not the way that I thought it was going to be, and I don't actually need that. I'm more comfortable, and I can go elsewhere to different places in Costa Rica and different cultures and find different communities. And so we're going to get into that next week. So if you want to know more about Costa Rica and living here, I want you to check out these 2 videos. Remember to stay tuned for next week's video, and we're going to be jumping into some more things that are going to help you once you land.